doing okay.
Only okay?
Yes.
Darn.
I've been kind of not feeling 100% today.
What's up? Is it just are we talking about Smash or like other things or what's up?
Uh, it's it's kind of Smash related, kind of not. I don't know.
It sounds complicated. We don't have to get into it if you don't want to, but if you want to, yeah, we don't have to post this session. It's all good. Up to you.
I can just briefly say like the melee part of it is I have been struggling to motivate myself to play. Though today I did at least practice, but I just haven't played anyone since Sunday. And then I played Thousand Year Door last night more. I've put like 3.5 hours into the game, and I'm like just really disappointed that the game is not as good as I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
So
did they
yeah,
remake it or something or?
no, they're going to remake it. I was just playing on my GameCube.
Oh, okay. I love that game. What's how come it's not living up to the hype? What's going? What part are you at?
Right before I forgot the dude's name, but like you go into the castle and you go up to the like top of it. I'm pretty sure I'm at the boss fight right before fighting him. The
Okay.
tail guy, whatever his name
Oh,
is.
Hooktail.
I just keep, yeah, Hooktail. I keep comparing the game to Superstar Saga because that's the Mario RPG game that I love to death, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just not living up to that game for me.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Early game in that in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is not like super fun, so I hear you on that. It does get better, but yeah, like it's not a good early. It's not as good of an early game if when I replay it too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. At least I'm not alone in that thought
Yeah,
process.
I'd say the first two, like the woods and the Hooktail's castle are both kind of eh, and then everything after that is fire.
Word. Well, maybe I will plan on revisiting it at some point because I know there's a lot to the game. It's a long game.
Okay, no worries. So let's focus on melee a little bit. So you mentioned lower motivation, right?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so talk to me about that. How come you're finding your? Do you think that there's a reason you have a lower motivation, or is it just kind of like is this? I know that motivation comes and goes, so this could just be part of the normal cycle. But do you think it's more than that, or yeah, just where you at?
It's not like I haven't been in this position before. There's a lot of times where I just like I have like a routine of wanting to do melee like throughout a week or something like that, and then like the day comes where it's like, oh well, today's a melee day, and then I'm just kind of like, yeah, but like I don't really want to do this today or something. Like it's not like I want to procrastinate. It's just like I'm just not in the mood. Like Monday was a break day for me because I like to take every other day as like a break day, so I'd help prevent burnout, space things out.
Yeah,
But then I was like supposed to play yesterday and I just didn't. I ended up just like watching Twitch and hanging out with friends like the whole day
that
and
sounds
not like
productive.
touching melee at all. Yeah. And then today I'm just like, man, I am having the hardest time just getting myself to even practice the game, but I at least got myself to do that. So, yeah.
Well, okay, if you wanted to play, is it that it maybe practice is the problem? Like, I guess my question is that like, um, the things that you're doing instead, it sounds like you're seeing your friends, you're like replaying old games. It sounds like they're a lot more like they're not as structured, I guess, in terms of like what you're doing. Do you think that maybe if you gave yourself more free play time, that would be a way to like be motivated, to be more motivated to play? Because like practice is good and all, but you've been playing for almost as long as I have. I'm sure that a lot of the muscle memory and stuff is probably second nature. Or is practice, when you say practice, do you also include free play into that?
I do. They're both one and the same. I don't like really mentally separate them out. If anything, it's a good thing that I've been practicing more lately because I used to not practice at all. I would only play the game. I would only play other people on unranked or ranked or whatever. So it's like I'm glad to be having a practice habit.
Hmm.
I made it interesting to me by having like a list of like 30 different things that I want to practice and then just randomizing it. Something about randomizing a list of things and being like, yep, let's just pick the top five and go with that. And just doing it is like, I don't know, it makes it kind of interesting to me.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of because it kind of keeps it fresh. It keeps you like it makes it so that you can't just like settle into a routine and just like practice the
Yeah,
same things over and over again. That makes a lot of
yeah.
sense actually. I have somebody else when you are doing the when you have that your list of things to work on, how do you define successes and how do you know when you're like good with it for the day?
Typically I will, so like, let's just say, for example, today I practiced like getting at least 3 Galint off of my ledge dash. I like keep doing it until I feel like I'm hitting it at least 50%. Well, not even really 50% of the time. Like three Galint is, because of how hard the tech is, I try to just make it to where like the first focus is don't like SD or don't like do things that would like that are like big flubs. You know, try to focus on being more consistent, reducing those big flubs. And then once the accuracy is up, then okay, try to get like, you know, free frame or three frame galints in a row or something like that. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I've done that on the left side. Let me do that on the right side. Typically try to not let it go too longer than like 15 minutes, you know, something
Cool.
like that.
So this is I've just sent you something. This is a worksheet that another learner of mine made for themselves. They're definitely lower level than you, but they're like probably about the intermediate level. They are a Falcon player who's making the switch over to a Falco.
Hmm.
So naturally, because like you're going from a dash dancer to like this with a different jump squat to a weird like bird, with a gun. There's a lot for them to learn. They were more of a feels based player before, from what I gather. So their technical prowess was never really their strong suit. So Falco is a big transition, but they found that this kind of structure of measuring it on consecutive successes, and setting them at realistic pace, like realistic places and benchmarks, has been really working for them. Do you think something like that might help you stay motivated with your list randomization? It might also help define it more concretely, so you don't get. And correct me if I'm wrong, but have you ever just like been like, all right, I know I did the 3 that I wanted to do, but like I feel like they could be better, so I'm just gonna keep grinding, or I got them, but they weren't perfect, like they weren't right in the way I wanted them. Do you ever have those moments, or are you more disciplined than that?
Yeah, I mean, that does kind of happen where like I get like the 3 that I was kind of aiming for, and then it's like, okay, well now do a reverse ledge dash and then ledge, do the Galint
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. Like make the setup for it harder and
Yeah.
and see how you can do it then. And then after, if after that I nail it, then like cool, I'll move on. But if I don't, then it's like whatever. I at least got the like I don't do it for long. I don't try to get too distracted with practice, because there's been too many times where I have an idea, I want to practice something that I only was planning on doing for like 10 minutes, but then I like do 30 minutes of just useless tech that I didn't need to practice. So yeah.
Yeah, we call it the melee player. Like that is, it's just it's so easy for us to get lost in the sauce, and I think that's just acknowledging that and the reality of that is important when we're structuring practice routines.
Hmm.
Because I think it also helps us prevent burnout, because it gives us it gives us a way to track progress really. Like
Hmm.
when you see the consecutive successes going up over time, over say like a month, like from beginning of month, end of month, if you compare where you were then to now, like we're here to then, it's we can see like we can usually see some pretty defined progress. It also, I think, it helps us, if we're not seeing that progress, it also formalizes that and gives us a way to tackle it more concretely, because a lot of times I feel like we're, as melee players, a lot of our techniques are really hard. Like ledge dashing is a really complex input with a lot of moving
Hmm.
parts. So if we're missing them one day, I think it's easy for us to kind of be like, yeah, well, it's really difficult, so whatever, my vibes say it's fine.
Hmm.
But having that concrete information, like that record over time, allows us to say, okay, so I'm actually not getting these very often, and I'm not seeing the improvement I want to see. So let's explore it. Maybe we have to go back to basics with the input. Maybe I have to pay more attention to what my hands are doing. But like, it gives us a little
Right.
bit more of a tactile thing to like work with.
Yeah, like I also noticed when doing the ledge dashing practice that part of the reason I wasn't getting the consistent glint that I was hoping for is because I wasn't jumping after letting go of ledge quickly enough. Like I needed to be frame perfect, and sometimes I'd be 2 or even 3 frames slow. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the visual indicator that Uncle Punch has is like, oh, this like tells me the information I need to know immediately. That's pretty cool.
Oh, and like, have you seen the hacks video on perfect ledge dashes?
I don't recall.
Okay, I'll give you the link just for your own, like, independently later. We don't have to go over it now, but it actually was really, really, really useful for me with like kind of figuring out some of the ledge dash stuff that, yeah, because I've never been able like from when I quit in 2018 to like now. I have like all my time as a pro player, I was never able to ledge dash, not once. I was the worst player in the universe at it. I think I've done one in tournament that did something, and it killed Mewtwo King, which was sick. But every other one has gone disastrously. And yeah, like this cleaned it up quite a bit. I find it very helpful.
Interesting. I feel like I definitely. I mean, this is a 3-year-old video. I probably watched it at some point, but haven't revisited it ever. So.
Honestly, hey, back to basics, relearning things. It's part of the process.
True.
So with that said, if you haven't really been playing quite as much, where do you see our time today being most productive? Like, what are your thoughts today?
I don't know. I think kind of talking about like longevity and like what to do on days where you're not like really wanting to play, because like you can't always rely on motivation if you want to like continuously improve. I
Agreed.
think I've been doing pretty good on just playing consistent, like at the very, very least, if I don't feel like playing, but I it's like on a designated day where I'm like I should probably play melee that day, I try to play at least an hour against a person. And if I haven't practiced like in a few days or something, then obviously I like will practice for at least an hour as well. So like 2 hours total minimum, bare minimum at least. But sometimes I'm like, well, I should go longer depending on like how I feel after a session or so. But yeah, I guess just like that's kind of what I want to talk about at first, at least, is just the like, what do you do on the days where you're just kind of not feeling like super enthusiastic about the game?
Oh, so on those days, I mean, it varies. It depends on where my source of lack of enthusiasm is. Like some days I'll just have not, for one reason or another, I won't have slept the night before, and I know my reactions are going to be bad. That's demotivating me, and I just don't really feel like playing.
Mm-hmm.
But on those days, I find that I'm pretty open to watching. So I might pull up some matches and do some and like analyze. I might do some breakdowns. I might take a look at a guide like this hacks one we've just posted, and see if there's anything I can learn about that would be relevant to my play. And then if there's something interesting in there, like how to refine an input or how to play a situation differently, I might go into Uncle Punch and then start like fiddling with it to get some ideas going.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's not so much about like just play. I also think that it's that downtime can be good for forming ideas.
What if it's like a day that you just don't want to do anything involving
Then
melee,
don't.
like at all?
Then don't.
Okay.
Because the thing about burnout is if you're burnt out, you cannot like even if you were to say play melee, you are just exacerbating the burnout. Sometimes we need to take time to recover and like allow our mind to like get its elasticity and its like its quickness back. And if we are overtaxing it by constantly trying to get back into the swing of things when we're not ready for it, then that is a problem. Like we're not going to properly recover. Yeah, so we just have to be respectful of our own recovery process, understand that this takes time sometimes, and cut ourselves a little slack. We're all working really hard.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going at it trying to prevent burnout for years, and I always feel like I don't feel particularly burnt out, but it's like the way that I'm describing things sounds like I'm burnt out, and it's like maybe I should just be fine with like taking a break or so. I don't know. I don't like it being longer than it probably needs to be, if that makes sense.
Well, how long does it need to be?
Uh, no more than probably like half a week, in my opinion.
I've taken like almost every single player at high no in the top like 50 has taken a much longer breaks than that.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's necessary sometimes. because you need your mind to like have adequate room so it can have space to breathe and like take it, and yeah. And the funny thing is that there's actually studies about learning theory that have evidence that sometimes taking longer breaks so that your mind can reset a little bit is good for long term, like committing things to memory in the long term. So I think that like, if you don't mind me asking, why are you so reluctant to take a longer break?
Because I have this innate fear that like when I'm in the middle of like a longer break, I'm like, man, I haven't played in a while. I really feel like I should get back at it, or else I'm gonna be like really rusty or whatever, you know?
Have you ever been rusty before?
I mean, usually after I take a longer, like 2 or more week break, I'm rusty for like the first day or so, but I
Okay.
do get back into it pretty quickly.
So I guess my question is isn't I would think that the trade like I when I hear that, I think the trade-off of taking like a slightly longer break, maybe a week, maybe you don't have to go the full 2 weeks. I don't know your
Mm-hmm.
situation, but if you take a week off and you're like rusty for half a day, but the upside is you're motivated to play, you're motivated to practice, you're retaining information better because your mind has had some time to reboot, to reset itself and like align its connections and all that good stuff. um I feel like the half a day of rust is probably a pretty reasonable trade-off for all of those benefits.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. Because that makes me think I probably want to restructure how I like. I guess like a phrase I use to describe this sort of process is like performing maintenance, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to make sure you're still like kind of warm as far as like playing the game, but it's like I don't know, maybe that is just like a myth. Maybe I am just kind of
I think that makes
overthinking
sense
that.
for people in certain, depending on their situation. Are
Mhm.
you preparing for a major tournament that is coming up that could be potentially career impacting?
I, what would be okay? That gives me a question. What's a career impact? What's a tournament that's potentially career impacting?
I would say any kind of like, well, back when we used to do like summit qualify, like back when we used to have summit qualifiers, I'd say those count.
Okay, well, I wouldn't be good enough for that to matter.
But you see what I mean. Like, if we're talking about like a top of the line tournament that has the potential to get you in front of like, all the important people on in for an extended period of time, that can make or break somebody's career or really help them expand their platform or and do better, like have a larger audience, a larger, more reaching audience. Also helps you build connections and networking with the important people. So yeah, I would say that like making it into summit is absolutely career impacting. So if you're gunning for something like that, it absolutely makes a good amount of sense to me to treat this kind of like how athletes do and make sure that there is maintenance behaviors being maintained. Because yeah, you want to make sure you're playing your best and brightest and absolute, like you want everything to be down to the like all your T's crossed, all your I's dotted for the big day, so that you play your absolute best. But I think that if we're just talking about like just generally playing, I think that it's less important because like you've pointed out, it's only really a day or so of rest that you really contend with.
Interesting. You bring up a point about like I feel like when you say career, it felt like you were more talking about like my networking than about just purely like playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like. Because like I don't care to ever get into a summit because like ooh it'd be good for my melee career. Like I don't like I really do try to just treat the game as a hobby. It's just a hobby I invest a lot of time in and of course want to improve at. But I don't care about like being known as this like great Ganon main or whatever the heck, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we all play for the reasons we play, but you asked me, like, what would I mean by a career altering tournament? Something like that. Something that
Okay.
can, like, something that can change the trajectory of your, and of your standing in the community, like in the community at large, and potentially turn this into, like, your 9 to 5. I would absolutely consider an event that puts you in front of, like, Mango's fan base, etc., 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 all the time for, like, a long weekend. Absolutely, that counts, um, especially if you can be charming and do well. But so for those people, yeah, maintenance behaviors, even if they're on a break, probably are pretty important because they can't afford to play anything less than a 9 at the qualifier. But
Right.
but that doesn't really seem like it's your situation. So I think that with for you, it's okay if you disconnect a little more. That's just my take.
Okay. I mean, I can kind of. It's also probably because there's a little bit of like a drought period in terms of like tournaments that I am excited for in my area. Because
Mm-hmm.
like I know not this upcoming weekend, but next weekend I'm going to EtsuCon 2023. That's like a tournament out in Johnson City, Tennessee. That one will have like a good number of North Carolina people there, and I went to that EtsuCon. I went to EtsuCon like years ago, so I'm kind of down to try to do it again and kind of get my feet wet with a little bit of out of state stuff as well. It won't be like a big tournament as far as like viewership and all that, but it's like I do want to go. It's not that far of a drive and all that. But besides that, it's like there's a couple other like things in like April that's happening in Georgia, but there hasn't been an announcement yet in North Carolina about like a monthly coming back. We're still waiting. We're all still kind of like waiting because it was supposed to be announced like mid March, and it's pretty much mid March. So I don't know. It's like it's hard to motivate myself to want to do stuff when there's like a drought. But
Yeah.
when there's a lot of like really exciting tournaments that I'm looking forward to going to, I think it's a bit easier for me to like prep for them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, do you have any friends that play?
Uh, uh, man, this feels. I can answer this in multiple different ways. Do you just mean like people that I have acquainted with in person, like my local scene, or do you mean like people that I actually genuinely feel like close to, like as actual friends?
I mean, people you would hang out with, people where the social function of hanging out with them and playing, um, as part of playing against them, can make it easier to be motivated.
I don't find motivation. Well, no, that's not true. I I definitely think it's the NC Melee scene, like talking to them and talking to them about the game and stuff. It's in the like the Discord here and there. I there's like conversations that will make me kind of motivated to do better, especially if I like do well at a tournament and I like upset someone, like people being like, "Whoa, you beat this person. That's pretty cool," or something. I don't know. There's something about like getting that kind of praise is nice when it happens. I don't like try to seek it out. I don't know. It's a bit of a complicated situation for me personally.
I see. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what to say then. Like, because usually that's what kind of gets me back into it during droughts.
Mm.
That's like usually it's the social function of playing. Um, so I guess I can see how in your scene that's how that there's kind of like barriers there, especially with there being not really a monthly. There's not, it's not really like it sounds like the social dynamics are a little complicated. And then aside from that, you have one tournament you're excited for, but not much ahead. Um, I don't know. What other ways do you think you could get motivated? Like, what other reasons do you think you'd have to play then?
I mean, I know watching other like top Ganon players, like looking at their VODs, just like I'll get an idea to like watch VODs of Linguini or Epic Murloc or Prometheus, and just after watching them for a bit, I'm like, man, now I want to like play the game, or I want to, or Abe, like I'll watch them play, and I'm like, dang, now I kind of like want to try to do the thing that they just did, or there's some like not specific situation that happened, just kind of like a general feeling of like, oh, I think the game feels like an exciting thing to try to play right now.
Okay. So basically, you'll see, like, okay, cool. So you get inspired, basically.
Yeah, it feels like it kind of happens at random, but yes.
Is there any way we can turn that into a goal? Like, what kinds of things usually inspire you? Is it a technique, a move, a combo? Like,
It's just it's kind of like just generally good, clean play. Like if and I'm in the right headspace, like if I watch a Ganon that just like hits just every bit of like movement tech and does something like really fast and really impressive. I'm just like, man, I I feel like I can do that too if I like do it like grind it out hard enough, you know?
Do you have an example?
Uh Not off the top of my head, but I know Abe uploaded some recent VODs of his ranked sets from last year, and some of them are like really good. Like he played really, really well against some like top players, and it's like,
Let's take a look at those. Like, yeah, why don't you stream to
sure,
me this time? You'll drive, and
sure.
yeah, when it happens, just tell me and point it out. Tell me what was cool about it.
All right, let me look for it. So, all right. Yeah, actually, let me do this. Go ahead and whoops, that's the wrong screen.
Perfect, I can see it.
So what was the one that he played where I was like, dang, that was cool. I think the Woo one. I think it's one of the Woo ones where he just went off.
Ooh, love that up smash.
Yeah, see, like I don't even like think to up smash like that, but like I'll see that and I'll be like, maybe I should try up smashing some more neutral.
Yeah, because it covered the platform and him running through him. Like, that seems really good.
Yep.
It's a powerful hit, too, so it's like also it has, like, even though it's risky, it has, like, it's in the spot where it actually stands to have, like, high impact.
Right.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Oh, DI mix up with the Nair? Let's go.
Yep.
I knew Randall was coming. I was like, I wonder if he knows. He did not. Or he just decided that it was, like, worth doing that anyway, because he still has stage control that way.
Yeah.
We're seeing more of that up smash. He really likes it there. Oh,
Yeah.
That makes sense. I like it. What's stopping you from doing that?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know the exact timing of when I think it'd be good.
Okay.
And I feel like even though it does have like quick ending frames so you can kind of jab afterwards, I just don't think of it as like a tool to anti-air or hit certain things like in neutral, because it feels like I'm standing in place while doing it, you know?
Yeah. But okay, so let's take those one at a time. So for the timing one, I mean, you didn't know how to time Ganon's fair always, but you know how to do that now. But how did you learn that?
Just trying to do it in games, so I guess I should
Yeah. Why would this process
experiment with it more.
Yeah, why would this be different? Right? It's a new move.
Right. Yeah.
And then as for like standing in place, why do you think that like standing? So what's the concern with standing in place? That's what I don't really get.
I'm just because Ganon's like a very slow target, and if he's standing in place, he running away isn't really like good, and it's something I'd try to do a lot. Where it's like, oh, I did this thing in place, but now I want to get away, so I try to dash back, but he's too slow for that.
Fair. Maybe then we need to rethink like what we're doing after we miss, like maybe because you're also like a really heavy character, right? So
yes.
maybe crouch canceling is a solution that makes more sense. Maybe using your shield can potentially make sense. Like I don't know what it looks, or like even your pullback specials like down B or whatever. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that we'll never know if we don't try.
Right. True.
Like, yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, he probably would not be like this fox is clearly knows his stuff. I don't know who this is, but yeah, I don't think he would be like this ahead. Like, I don't think he'd be this competitive with him if it weren't for some of the kills he got from that up smash. It's really good.
Right.
Because I think he got one like push off where like the fox fast fell and died. Like that was pretty sick. And then yeah, he managed to hold it down. Let's go, Abe.
The entire time I'm watching this, I'm just keeping an eye on Fox and trying to see like how Abe sees things through his peripheral.
Oh, that's good. So you're practicing too. You know what?
Yeah.
I bet you're gonna. do you think you'd be up for playing on Slippy? Just you don't have to go into.
I'm down to
ranked.
play. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's finish this set, and then you tell
Mhm.
me if there's anything else you see that he does that's like super sick.
Well, not that down B.
What don't you like about the down B? There.
It was just he was in the middle of center stage, and
It looked like he was
I don't
trying
know.
to catch. It looks like he was trying to catch Fox's dashback. I think.
Yeah. I guess just because it didn't work doesn't mean it was bad.
Yes. There we go. I still don't know if it was like the right play there. Don't get me wrong, but like I see the idea. I think he needed to position it a little differently, but like the idea, I don't hate. Yeah, because you sometimes have to you have to overshoot, right? Like end of the day, sometimes you got to overshoot.
Right. That shit. That's this whole thing where he goes to top plat.
Oh, the movement
Shield drop
up
forward
there,
air.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
dirty. Can you do that?
In practice, I don't do that regularly in games.
Okay. Do you want to try?
I can, yeah. I can try.
And even if you don't succeed, like if we can identify some of the spots where you could do it in, where it might be good, that still counts as part of the learning process. Because we don't go from like we don't immediately get anything right away. We have to learn the idea, understand the idea, spot when it's appropriate, and then we have to do it, and then we have all the corrections that come on like the physical component. But like it's not like we just one day wake up and we're like, yeah, like I'm just gonna do like this brand new thing that I've never done before.
Right.
Perfect. Like especially in this game of all things, like
Yeah.
I think you're very
know
hard
that
on
all
yourself.
too well.
I think you're very hard on yourself.
I think my standards for the game are definitely too high.
Oh, so you're only like this. So to confirm, that means that you're not like this anywhere else in your life, right?
Oh yeah. No, it's like I've been competitive in other games and things, and like the standard is still kind of there, like in speedrunning and stuff. But like Melee especially is like, oh no, yeah, it's definitely high up there.
Maybe if we could aim for something less perfect, that might not be a bad idea. I think you might have to settle for excellent like the rest of us.
Right. Even that up smash, he couldn't be punished because he was able to shield in time. Oh, that shield is tiny.
I know. But you know what? I like that he's still using it because shield is an excellent way to buffer ASDI down.
True.
Right? Because if we get shield poked and somebody's like grazing the edge of our shield with like Marth down tilt or something, well, know what? That is the easiest. That's one of the easiest like ASDI downs of our life. And they made it, and Marth made it easy for us there, which
True, yeah.
Yeah, we should always be grateful for Marth making things easy. He doesn't usually. All right, let's watch some Melee. Are you thinking ranked or unranked? I'll give you my
probably unranked. I haven't been playing ranked since last Wednesday, so.
Okay, no worries.
If unranked ends up being crap and people just keep quitting out, then I will do ranked though.
I mean, worst case scenario, we could play.
True. Okay, let me start up the thing.
Do you remember it from last time, or do you need me to walk you through it?
How to do what?
The spectate.
Yeah, I mean, I put in the code and I just start it, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So, just adjusting my volume.
So why Ganondorf anyway?
Well, I'd have to focus on that. Oh, see, he's gonna just quit. Right. I guess I'll take the time now to answer. Ganon, because for multiple reasons. The first and foremost reason is I just think he's the most fun character for me personally. I find his movement very fun. I find getting hits with him is very satisfying. His combos feel great. Uh, definitely biggest thing is his movement, his wavelands, just like his tech skill kind of in general. I just really like, and I have tried playing other top tier characters like Falcon, Marth, and Sheik for extended periods of time, and I would always have some reason why I didn't enjoy them as much as Ganon. Like, sure, I maybe did better at some point with those better characters, obviously, but like my level of enjoyment and my longevity was a lot lower on average typically. Plus, like, it was easier for me to burn out on those different characters. So that's kind of why it's just been only Ganon since like the middle of 2022.
Okay. I stopped playing my Sheik to play Ness, so I definitely understand playing the character you want to play because they're fun. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't sound like very good reasons to play him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like no notes.
I'm confident in my choice. Like I started maining him back in 2013, so like I've had experience with him for like the longest of time, and like there's not really a reason for me to not want to play as him besides the fact that, like, you know, people have just been like, you should play a better character. It's like,
those people are so annoying.
Yeah, I just want to play the character I have the most fun with, and I'm more confident now than ever. It's like, yep, this is the one. I'm not playing anyone else. I don't even have any secondaries. I only play Ganon, like no one else.
So he's having any luck with the queue or nah?
I think I got Mango Fan 69, Falco.
Nice, I can see it. Let's just look for a chance to up smash him when he's in the corner. When we've got him cornered, that's it. Nice. And how did that feel to do that?
Interesting, because he just shielded in front of me. So I was like, huh.
Nice hug. Your hug placement there was really sick. Oh, you guys can do this now? That's it.
Yep. Oh, that was not.
I know, that was an up air to shield.
Yeah.
Nice up air. That's good. Easy clap.
Oh.
The evil bird. Nice. So something I want to point out, a lot of times when you're in the air because you're trying to move, you get hit by his lasers and stuff, and then you have to like wait till you land till you can act. But which adds extra stun before you can land. But when you're on the ground, you don't have to do that. There's not that extra time of landing too to like worry about. So that might be a reason to like stay on the ground in some of these situations because you can you got that jab after.
Right. Yeah.
So like you're talking about, you know, I have to be able to move and get out of there. Sometimes holding our ground just works too. Of course, we have to be on the ground to do that. Nice. So how you feeling?
Meh.
Meh.
That was meh.
Okay. If you're not feeling it, we don't have to play today. But I think that I think one thing I'm noticing. Let's try to work more on holding down, because I think that's like one area that I'm surprised. No, that I think that yeah, because like you've been hit by like Falcon's Nair and stuff, and I think that like learning how to hold down and like ASDI down more consistently could help a lot. Use your weight more effectively too. Maybe make you have a more appreciation for ground moves, because that's often one of the big perks. You can do it. You can ASDI during them.
True, yeah.
Anti-air up smash. Ah, I thought he'd run into it. I believed. How does it feel to get hit by that Nair and not comboed into grab?
I guess, I don't know. Usually good Falcons will Nair into grab, but if you don't...
No, but he couldn't. You were ASDIing down.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, like, you were able to get an interrupt out in between, like, the actions. That's why he couldn't do it. You can see how, like, it's like limiting his offense, right?
Yeah.
Is this something that you do normally?
What is something I do normally?
Holding down.
Yeah, it is. It's not like I don't do it.
Okay. But it's the ground moves and stuff that you don't do as much.
Yeah, I definitely don't.
Right, so it's like, okay, so that's why I'm seeing it represented more then. Because it's like, yeah, if you're doing it, but you're only doing it during movement, then yeah. Makes sense.
Aww.
You can use the C stick for DI down, if you're inputting a directional attack like a forward tilt.
True, yeah.
Just giving you more tools to play with.
Alright.
Nice.
Oh,
Ah!
come on. I wanted that. You didn't stand still long enough.
That would have been sick. How are these games feeling, though? Like, I know that when the Falco was meh, but how's this one feeling?
A little better. I mean, like, I'm hitting some of the up smash stuff.
Nice.
I'm not
Again,
doing
like,
it the right timing.
What do you think is off with your timing? Is it that you're too late or too early?
He's able to nair me, so just wrong? I don't know.
So maybe it's more of the situation, right? So remember, he was usually pinned when Abe was going for it. Like
right.
on the defensive, running away from him basically.
Surprised fair even worked there.
I'm not. You hit his legs.
True. Or like, oh, okay, he left. Word.
He was like, he took the first stock. I'm out of here.
Alright, a fox. Good.
That makes sense. Oh my god.
Oh, didn't get the read.
Oh, but you got the pickup. It's fine. Also, the 0 to 78, I think we can live with.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to kill.
You know what? We can't win every guess, though. That's the thing. Oh, you're doing the Megas tactics, aren't you? Like the side B down smash, down B stuff, aren't right?
I'm not thinking about it like that.
Okay. What are you thinking of it like?
It's like, what options do I think he's gonna do?
Ah, okay.
There we go. Oh, that one's tricky. It's been getting me a lot.
When he goes
straight to ledge, yeah.
Oh, that one's a reaction one. That's just roll or stand.
Right.
Easy clap. Yeah, that really does, like, the chain grabbing at, like, 70 plus or whatever you're doing it, like, it really does clean up his, like, end game a lot. That's really cool.
Well, he fucked up. Okay. Oh.
Good old Fox.
Yep. Okay. Kind of wanted that dare to hit. Oh. Well, the up smash was pretty successful there.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
That was the most fun game I've had so far.
Good. So, I think we're like I think that new things are fun, and that is a good way of like keeping it from getting stale. Because a lot of times burnout is just like, or just not being inspired is just, yeah, we're doing the same things we've always done, right?
Right.
So like maybe like taking inspiration from other players that you really like or look up or respect. That can be a place where we can find a way to stay motivated. And if all else fails, then we can take a break. But I don't get the feeling that it's so much a break that's needed, so much as it's just a new ideas, really.
Okay.
Like that's
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting. Because if you were still playing and hitting it, and you were still like, no, this sucks, like I want out, then I'd like stop. But like at the same time, that's not what's happening.
Right.
I think that's a common thing with our kind of characters, with like mid tiers and low tiers, because a lot of times like what works with them is like so pretty well defined, or at least we think it is, and because there's so little development in their metagame relative to like the top characters, yeah, we feel like we're just using kind of crude tools versus their good stuff, and it's just kind of like just master the basics, keep mastering them fairs, but there's usually more that they have to offer, and yeah. It can be fun to explore that. That's how I keep the magic alive with Ness.
Oh, he waited.
Mm-hmm. So how do we punish the wait? How do we swag out on him for doing that?
It's a good question. I have not thought that far ahead.
Well, I mean, like, it's a new move, right? Like, it's a new threat. It's the type of... And it's a scary one. It's the one that kind of kills you or combos him if you get it. So, of course, he has to think about it. So what does he do? So what do we do instead? Just trust the process. Nice use of shield after attack. Let's go. That was a sick bait. Oh my god! If you No fox has ever won from this position versus Ganondorf. No, I jinxed it.
Dang it. Well, Randall did make that feel awkward. 'Cause I'm like, wait, he's gonna land on it, and I didn't cover it.
I always go for the overkill on Yoshi's story. Oh my god.
Oh, good bear.
Could you have forward tilted after the up throw when he just went behind you?
I think so, yeah.
I would have just comboed him, I think.
Oh.
You are very much trying to swag on this guy. I'm here for it.
It's because it makes the game fun.
Yeah. Unironically. Yo, tomahawk, like up B, like empty, like up B him if he shields on the platform.
Or that.
Easy clap. We hit him with the ed. I bet this is a lot more fun than just doing the same like fairs that you always do, that you already know how to do pretty well.
Yeah.
And like they still have a place in this as like, you know, the glue that holds it together, but it's fun to experiment. Oh, reverse jab, let's go.
I was like confident the reverse jab would even hit too.
Yeah, you looked confident. It was clear you knew what you were doing.
Wow. Oh. No.
It's all good. Remember, we're just having fun. These are goof-off friendlies. Overshoot wizard foot? Let's go.
Oh, what an angle.
Oh my god, the waveline fair. Let's go.
Yep. Aw, too late.
Oh, nice of it. I think you make it with a fast fall. Let's pause here and then let's just confirm. So, what's another way? So, the up smash, you're having fun with that. What is fun about that up smash for you?
Like the fact that if I get a hit with it, it's pretty like big.
Mm-hmm.
But also the fact that like if I whiff with it, I'm still relatively like safe, and I'm also still on the ground.
Okay, perfect. What are some other moves that you can think of in your character's toolkit that have similar things to that?
Up angle F tilt kinda does stuff similarly.
How
Well,
about
it's like
Mm-hmm.
down tilt. Yeah, down tilt does as well. They all just cover different spaces or spacings.
Okay. And we had an opponent like, yeah, because down tilt goes a lot further. Up angle F tilt kind of covers the 45-degree angle that the up smash, and then up to smash is more above you, but also covers the 45-degree angle, and then it has the multi-hit, which it makes it okay versus like Oos games and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we can see that they have different purposes depending on how you structure them, right?
Right.
And we also noticed that our opponents were like starting to wait them out sometimes. Like sometimes they went above us and used their double jumps, and then you were really good about up airing those. But then other times they hung back. But I bet like down tilt and such could hit them depending on how they structure their dash dance. Like there's ways that we could like add other tools that help pad the weaknesses of this one, or account for the opponent's counterplay that also have similar benefits. And I think that this will also help make your aerial wall more effective in general if we're going for a more if we're like mixing between the two of them, or even just leaning into our natural base. of like, you know, fair and bare and up air, because those like the spaces people keep to play around those moves are captured by some of the things we're listing, like especially down tilt.
Right.
So do you think that that could be a direction that could potentially help keep you motivated? Yeah, just have some fun with it while you're in your drought.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point you brought up during those games that is makes me want to play more is the fact that like I could be trying to do more with my grounded moves, because I do feel like there are a lot of times where I am in the air probably more than I should be, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe it'd be kind of fun to just try to like stay on the ground a lot more and just like see what can I do just playing more grounded. And it's like, okay, do I get a lot more off of like CC and things like that? And because I'll one of the biggest weaknesses that I'll notice for myself is I'll like double jump off of like a wave landing off a side platform, and then I get hit and I'm like, well, now I don't have a double jump, and that's bad because I was in the air. But if I stay on the ground and I get hit, it's like, well, you're not in the air, you still have your double jump. So I don't know, that's something I want to try to definitely do more of. It's just doing more things on the ground, because you can beat your opponent being in the air and being on the ground with my grounded moves. It's not like I have to jump to hit people in the air.
Yeah, and I think that, like, I've just sent you a list, but playing on the ground more, yeah, like some benefits we can see here. I think that, you know, exploring your ground move, you know, the good ground moves that we've identified, and jab's so good, as neutral
Yeah.
tools. We've got ASDI down and access to crouch cancel, which are also great. We have more access to grab. Also access to, like, some of your specials as actual combat tools, like your side B or down B. So I
Yeah.
think that, like, you know, it offers a lot of avenues to play the game that are not available in the air. I think, yeah, this is a great direction to explore.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's something I would like to focus on over the next week, I feel.
Okay, perfect. So this is a lot for you to chew on, and I think that this has definitely helped with that motivation bit, because it sounds like you're excited to learn this, and that's really the goal. A lot of times
Yeah.
it's just find another way, like maybe there's more to this game that I think that it's hard to, oh my god, words are hard. A lot of times we're not really demotivated so much as we're demotivated if we continue to we're demotivated if we continue to go at it the way we've been going at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the repetition, not so much like the thing itself. That's the problem.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
And if you find that even with adding novelty, even with experimentation, if that's still just giving you that, nope, I need a break, like too much, like nothing works, then that's a really good sign that, yeah, like we have explored our options. I actually just need a week off.
Okay. Okay. I that that feels very actionable. I definitely feel like I can try that. Yeah.
Do you have like a military background or something? Because like I just feel like with some of the
No.
words you use, I'm like, huh, I wonder.
No, I have no military background, nor do I have any interest in that field.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Neither do I. Insofar as like, aside from what my brother tells me about it, like, and just listening to his stories, I don't really, yeah, have much of a desire for it myself either. But yeah, it's just actionables. That one, I was like, huh, that's an interesting wording. Um, yeah. So, how are you feeling overall compared to when you started this session? How do you feel this one? And how do you think this one went?
I mean, I feel more confident and motivated now to play more. So that's good. That was helpful. What was the other question?
How are you finding that working with me is going overall?
I still think it's been really helpful, because like I do feel like I can do a lot of things on my own, but like I don't know, of all the other coaches that I've had before, like you're like doing something better or different from all of them that feels right.
What? How would you describe it? Because this is important for me to understand my process.
Uh, it's like, I don't know, you feel more approachable, I think. I feel like when I come up with a thing that I want to try to do, it doesn't feel like you're gonna shut down the idea. In fact, you are open to like crazy sounding things, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's cool.
I think it also makes it easy. I think one of the big things, and one of the big reasons I am like that is I work with a lot of beginners, and not as many as like Jane or anything like that, but like I do work with a few of them, and I find that what destroys their motivation and what really ruins their ability to enjoy the game is when when they have an idea that they're really interested in and passionate about, and then all I'm trying to do is turn them into another cookie cutter fox. I think
Yeah.
that's soul crushing, and I just, with all the ways we have to play this game and be successful in it, I think if the only thing I can tell someone to do is the standard up throw fox combo on FD, then I have failed as a coach.
Hmm. Yeah, that's why I feel like you're different than any other coach that I've gotten, because every other coach is just like trying to think about it like, if you want to get to top level, this is what you have to do. Sort of, I don't know. It feels too institutionalized, if that makes any sense. You know, like it doesn't feel free form. Like Melee is a free form game. We should have coaches that are more free form in their teachings and stuff. Like when I get coaching from you, it doesn't feel like your prerogative is to get me to be a better player. It's like to get me to enjoy the game more in the way that I want to, you know? Like that's what I feel like.
Yeah, and
That's why you stick out.
well, and the thing is, like, you'll handle if I do that, if I get you to enjoy the game more and give you the tools to play better, I just trust that you'll use them appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ultimately can't make you play better. That all comes from you. So whether you want to play better, you want to play more stylishly, that's your call. I just equip you for it.
Right, exactly. You're flexible based on what the coachee wants.
I might put that bit up on YouTube as a short, just a fair warning. But
That's fine.
I really appreciate this time, Redman, and we'll talk. I'm so bad with names. Whatever. I'm gonna go with it. I really appreciate.
You can call me Redman. I really don't mind.
Okay, thank you, Redman. I appreciate your time. I do have someone at 7, so I gotta go. But yeah, I'll see you next week, and
See you next week.
Keep up the great work.
All right, thank you.